Welcome back to another episode of Jaadugar, which in Mongolia. So first of all, this is a bit of a scuffed temporary setup. Sorry about that. Either way though, in the previous episode, we had an absolutely incredible one. We saw Turgenev's backstory. Right, we saw the entire backstory of how she got this hatred for the Mongols and everything that they did to her and the entire Mongol Empire and all those things, right? And we saw how that passion, that entire hatred that she had reignited Sitara's hatred as well. Sitara finally calling herself Sitara and no longer Fatima there, right? To kind of show that she's back to her previous self with her previous hatred. It's really cool. Just an awesome episode, and the way that they showcased her being like, I'll be your Jadastone now, right? I'll be the storm that you can wield. I'll bring the storm here to the Empire, or we together can bring the storm. So awesome episode, really cool partnership established fully between Turgenev and Sitara now, and let's see where it's gonna go from here. So if you wanna watch this uncut and unblurred, as always, on Patreon in the description, and let's go into Jaadugar, which in Mongolia, episode 7. What an awesome episode. What a moment. Her undulled pain. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's so exciting. Brothers, episode 7. Kurultai. Oh. They sobered up. Damn. You know what always really surprises me with how they portrays the Great Khan and even Genghis Khan previously, right? And I don't know how historically accurate it is, but it feels like for a person of that big renown, right? Basically one of the most influential people ever in all of history, especially Genghis Khan. I feel like the scale of everything, of every visit that he has, of his funeral, all of those things just seems so small, right? It feels like for that big of a person, there's like 100 people there or something, that we see welcoming him or saying goodbye to him on his birthday and stuff, or not birthday, sorry, on his funeral and stuff like that, right? It feels like for a person of that great renown, the scale is so small of everything. And I think it is kind of just like because it's just the closest people to him, right? The people at the highest position. But still, it feels interesting because usually you see like historic people and like you see shows about historical people and stuff like that way later down the line, let's say 17th century, 18th century, somewhere around there. And there's like thousands of people welcoming them and cheering them on and having these huge parades for them. But here it feels such low scale for someone of that important, right? And I think it's because it was so widespread, the Mongol Empire, so spread thin, you know? Makes sense. To show his magnanimity, right? Yeah. Yep.
敵には厳しく、進化には寛大に。大官は今それをお示しになったのです。それはわかるけど、ちょっとやりすぎだよ。そうか。寛大さか。
Yep.
クリル隊では、オゴ大官のもと、今後の政策が話し合われていた。なお、モンゴル帝国では、こうした政治の場に皇后たちも参加していた。
トレゲーネ、何よあんたクリル隊なんてめったに出ないくせに。
いたらいけない。
出たくても出れない人だっているってのに。
いいか、うかい。
おたいです。
Genghis Khan's younger brother. Otai. Wow, that's crazy. Timur's son, Timur. Okay, I don't have my notes with me in this setup. I need to get new ones.
これから話し合うのは次の遠征の計画だ。標的
Wow.
はいよいよ東方の敵。
The Jin Dynasty?
金国には先祖たちが何人も連れ去られ、
Wow.
殺されたそうですね。
ああ、だが今は正直そんなことはどうでもいい。最大の軍事力を持つトルイ家、大官が信頼を置くチャガタイ家、ジュチ家は当主のジュチが死んでいる上領地も遠い。そして俺たちテムゲ家の領地は金国から近い。どの家も今やたくさんの領民を抱えている以上、損をしない役回りを手に入れたいわけだ。新しいカーンは俺たちをどれだけ納得させられるかな。なあ、ダリタイ。
おたいです。
What a father.
この状況どう裁く？大カーンよ。
都を作ろうかと思う。そう、都だ。草原に都市を建設する。天幕じゃなくて動かない建物のね。
何を言って
What was the
金国への遠征の話は。
都市だって。
what's the capital of the Mongolian Empire? Was that one? Ulaanbaatar is the capital of Mongolia right now, but
皆様、大カーンのお話が途中ですよ。
都といっても俺たちが住むわけじゃないよ。欲しいのは武器や宝物を作る工場。それから
I mean that's just
外
smart.
国の商人たちが集まる交易。
It is a big change in their culture
俺
though.
たちは今まで通り遊牧暮らし。けど、たまに都でドーンと買い物してやるんだ。気前よく寛大な態度でね。すると、噂を聞いて世界中から人と物が集まるってわけ。どうだろう？
何言ってるのかわからん。
ダメかな。
いいと思うぜ。
Oh,
面白いな、それ。やってみたらいい。
トルイ。
ところで、大官。いつ戦争の話をするんだ？
he's going right to the point. What everyone's thinking.
金国を葬る時が来た。かつての大国も今や追い詰められ、まるで小さなネズミだ。とどめを刺すのはもちろん。
Oh, that was a cool transition.
この戦争はまさに巻き狩りだ。
Typhon.
狩り場は金国の都、解放。 には黄河を挟んで海堡の北に陣取っていただく。ネズミがおののいている隙に俺たちが南から挟み撃ちだ。
例えるならネズミというより鹿かな。
間を取って小鹿でどう？トルイ、金国を
I wanna look something up. I wanna see what Kaifeng, what modern city that is, because I wanna have a bit of a visual representation of where everything is on the map. Kaifeng Jin Dynasty. Okay, it's still Kaifeng, still nowadays. The city is still called Kaifeng. It's kind of between Xi'an and Qingdao, if you can imagine it. Or I guess you could do like Qian and between Qian and Beijing, just a bit more south. Okay. Damn, they were that low. The Mongol Empire went down all the way to like Xi'an level. That's crazy.
滅びかけといっても、いまだに兵士も民も俺たちよりずっと多い国だ。そこで叔父上には東から住民を追い立てる役を頼みたい。獣たちを狩り場に追い立てるよう、金国の住民を海堡の城壁の内側へ追い立てたら、俺たちよりずっと多い兵士や民が孤立した都市に閉じ込められるんだ。冬が過ぎ、食料の尽きた後、街の中はどうなっているかな。チャガタイ兄上にはモンゴルに残って留守を預かっていただきたい。本拠地はやっぱり大官が一番信頼を置く人に任せなきゃ。ね。
まあいいだろう。
ジュチ家のお前たちは今回出番なしだ。その代わり、西への遠征の主役はお前たちだぜ。
He's taking full control of the situation.
この作戦で不満のある奴はいるか？トルイ殿下。海堡の南へ回り込むには南宋の領内を通過しなければなりません。何より険しい山道になりますが、問題ないね。南宋にとっても金国は敵だ。
Oh, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
険しい山道については頑張れ。
Will persevere. I guess that's that.
クリル隊で聞い
It does seem like Tolui is just taking full control over the entire military operations, right? It does feel a bit bad because the Great Khan doesn't seem to have much of a say. He's just kind of like standing there. I guess Tolui is in charge of like the military and stuff, so I guess it makes sense to for him to take charge in this kind of conversation. But it feels like the Great Khan is a bit lacking in like charisma and authority, right? Compared to, let's say, Genghis Khan, who it feels like he had purely like a lot of charisma, authority, so much respect from everyone. Whereas here it feels a bit more like everyone else around him is taking the lead, right? And I feel like that it might backfire.
私はこれで全部よ。ありがとうございます。トルイの作戦が成功すれば、海堡の人たちはいずれ
Yeah.
飢えと寒さで。私はそれを知りながら。したら、大丈夫？震えている？あ、すみません。平気ですわ。したら。トレゲネ様、私のことはファーティマとお呼びください。ファーティマ。したらは奴隷だった頃の名前ですので、羊の卑しいものが大官のお妃様に近いのはどうかと。私もここでは内慢人で通してるの。メルキト族に嫁いだのだから、メルキト人だと言いたいのだけれど、モンゴルにはメルキト嫌いが少なくないのよ。
Oh.
だから、メルキト人だったことは誰にもあげない秘密にしたのです。あなたも秘密にしてね、ファティマ。はい。この人は危なっかしい人だ。それで、これからどうするの？やはり、大官とトルイ家の間には力のねじれがありますね。モンゴル最大の軍事力を持つトルイ家と最高権威の大官。それを支えるチャガタイ家。この間に不和を起こすのです。
Yep.
そのためには
That's it.
トルイ様の作戦が成功しなければなりません。
They need him to become stronger. The stronger that he gets, the worse it's going to be for them, for the power imbalance.
調子はどうボラクチン。
お前の顔を見たら少し気が晴れたよ。
Great cartoon.
それ何？
全神教の同志たちが持ってきた医学書だ。肉体は生きてるうちに原初の気を徐々に失い、やがて病や死に至るが、修行によってこの気の流れを止めることができる。それが彼らの言う不老不死の術なのだそうだ。
その術があれば、ボラクチンは良くなるの？
モーゲ、
本当なら、クリル隊では、あなたが大カーンの隣に座っているはずだったのに。誰よりも賢いあなたが。
So he's like an advisor.
政治はクリル隊のみで決まるものではない。水面下であちこちに手を回すことが重要なのだ。さあ、モゲ、お前が聞いてきたことを教えておくれ。
Who voices him? I really like his voice.
この作戦、トルイ様の負担が大きい分、成功すれば功績が最も大きいのもトルイ様。そして、
Yep.
おそらく成功します。
Yep. The power imbalance is gonna be too
なぜなら
strong.
クルーテの軍勢はモンゴルで一番強いから。敵から見ればモンゴル軍の鮮やかな作戦。きっと怖いでしょうね。だ
She's
け
doing
ど
the opposite of what Sorgatani asked her to.
モンゴル内の将王家もまたこう思うだろう。トルイ家は
It's too strong.
強すぎる。
Yep. Yep.
たとえトルイ自身に双心がなくとも、その強さを将王家が恐れて疑念を抱いたら、トルイ家に対し結託するようなことがあったら、きっと。
モンゴルは分裂して、
Yep.
いずれ崩壊しますわ。
争いの種をまこうとする者も出てくるだろう。
そんな、どうしたら。
モゲ、お前は私と違って若いし可愛い。素直で人にも好かれる。モンゴルがバラバラにならないよう、人と人との心をつなぎ止めるために、私の代わりに動き回っておくれ。
ボラクチンがそう言うなら。孤立した都市に追い込まれ、飢えと寒さで死んでいくのは、トゥースの町の人々だったかもしれない。解放の人たちからしたら、私もきっと、モンゴルの一人ね。
Awesome. 12:30. Okay, day. I thought it was over for a second. I was going to flip out. There's no way it's the end.
ジャガタイ様が草原で留守を預かる。私たちはどうするのですか？前線基地まで大カーンの軍についていくわ。大カーンのところには今ジャガタイが来ている。出征したらしばらくはジャガタイとは顔を合わせないわね。モンゴルに混乱をもたらすにはトルイ家と拮抗する勢力が必要。そこにジャガタイ家は欠かせない。では
Makes sense.
私
It's
が
their
ドレ
conflict,
ネ様の
right?
使いとしてジャガタイ様へご挨拶に伺いますわ。ファーティマにお任せくださいまし。
That's it. I
なん
mean,
でカダク様
Kadak. They're being very smart about the entire thing. Sorry, I know I'm pausing a lot, but this is so cool. They're being very smart about the entire thing because there are times where, let's say, one power or one family just becomes so strong to the point where they become strong enough, and if no one opposes them, they can just take over control of the country, the empire, whatever, right? So they definitely need an opposing force. Oh, sorry. To the family here, right? To Tolui. They need an opposing force to it 100% that is going to try to fight the power of Tolui, the family of Tolui, the house of Tolui, right? Because otherwise, if there's no one opposing them, then Tolui can just take control of the entire empire and they've achieved nothing, right? By doing that.
お前一人で行かせられるかよ。
Makes sense, a lot of sense.
違う。お前を信用してないの。
ドレゲネ様は信用してくれました。
俺の主人はあの人じゃない。 せば長くなるな。あるお方に頼まれて今は。うわっ
And she's gone. Nice.
あれ、ドレゲネの奴隷ちゃんあんた、ここで
あ
何してるの
Moge.
人
Is it?
大官の太陽妃、モゲ様
Yep.
そうか、また懲りもせず迷子だなそうだ、図星だろうさてはあんた、
Kinda like
未
her.
だに天幕の位置が覚えられないんだな前にうろついてた時も怪しいと思ったんだドレゲネの言い訳も嘘く
I
さ
kinda like her.
もしくは
She's cute.
そうなんですやっぱりなどうしようまたドレゲネ様に恥をかかせちゃう怒られちゃうドレゲネに怒られても知ったことじゃないけど大官まで恥をかいたら大変だ案内してやるよ
Yes.
ありがとうございますモゲ様なんとか乗り切らなきゃモゲ様前と印象が違うような耳飾りごめんなさいやっぱり変かな
I really like her.
変というほどではでももしかしてなくしてしまわれたのですかいや大官が売っちゃったの
Oh.
大官よ。どうかこのメロンを買ってください。とても困窮しておりまして。
ちっちゃいメロン
モゲ、君の耳飾りをこの人におやり。
Oh, poor
そうだ
thing.
モゲ。いずれまたこの耳飾りは君のところに戻ってくると思うよ。
戻ってくるどういう意味でしょうわかんないよ私大官のこと何もわかんない
He is a strange man.
モゲ様、大官がお呼びです。
何の用だろう
そこまでは伺っていません。
もう少しだけ。見えた見えた。やあモゲ。ここへおいで。君にプレゼントだ。
Earrings? Huh?
嘘
They found their way back to her.
私の耳飾り
これはどこで手に入れたんだい？
ホラーサーンでございます。サマルカンドに行く旅の最中、幸運なことに東方の立派なお宝を売ってくれる男に出会いました。
What?
立派な真珠の出所をその男に問うたのです。彼はこれをウイグル人の町でたまたま手に入れたとか。
Uyghur City.
貧
Oh.
しい男からパンとその耳飾りを交換したと。
ホラーサーンか。思ったより遠くへ行ったね。
このような立派な耳飾りは世界の支配者にこそふさわしい。そう考え、私は大カーンへ献上しに参ったのです。
本当に戻ってきた
That's crazy.
よく届けに来てくれたね。
What goes around comes around, huh?
全部俺が買い取ろう。
ありがとうございます。
Wow.
今後も商品を持っておいで。損はさせないよ。
じゃあ、あそこでお願い。他のやつと一緒に置いて、あれは気をつけて。まさか全部買ってくださるとは。やはりモンゴルへ来てよかった。
あなたたちはホラーさんから来たのですか
そうだが、あんたは
私もホラーさんから来たのですどうしてあなたたちはモンゴルへ
どうしてってそんなの、モンゴル
Yeah.
が今一番稼げる場所だからに。
Yep, they're businessmen. They're traders.
製法の商品を一番
Yep.
高く買ってくれるのは、モンゴルの皇帝だと踏んだろうさ。
でも怖くはなかったの道のりだって遠いしモンゴル人は恐ろしいでしょ
いや、むしろ前よりも 全に旅ができたぞ。モンゴルは征服した土地に役人を置いて商人の通行を守ってくれているんだ。あの皇帝は大したお方だよ。
君の耳飾りのおかげで
Wow.
うまく機能していることが確認できた。
Is that all his
俺
plan?
の考えてることを金国を滅ぼしたらみんな聞いてくれるかな。
It is his plan, isn't it? It's the end of the episode. That was all his plan. I'm gonna talk about it after the ending. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so that was a really cool episode. So I think that at the end, the interesting thing is, it feels like this was all a plan, right, by the Khan, by the Great Khan, to... so he said that the earrings are gonna find their way back to her, right? And I feel like the reason why he said that is because he's trying to set up a system where all of the traders just find it really easy, like the easiest thing to make profit and the safest way to make profit for them is to go to the Great Khan now. It used to not be that way with obviously Genghis Khan and stuff, but I feel like he's currently setting up a system where everyone sees him as the most approachable option to market to, right? To make deals with, to trade with, right? Which is going to be obviously beneficial to him as well. So I think that's why he was so confident in saying that the earrings are gonna find their way back to her, because it was kind of like a test for him. It was a test to see, okay, is the system that I'm setting up for trading and stuff, is it working the way that I want it to be working? If it is, those earrings should be making their way back to us, right? If they don't make it back to us, then the system isn't working the way that I intended it to work, right? Which is just such an interesting thing to do, right? That's awesome. I'm loving the political side of this entire thing as well, right? It's so interesting. It's so interesting, especially because I don't really know anything past this point, past the Genghis Khan reign of the Mongolian Empire or the Mongol Empire, right? So this is going to be very interesting, right? We're going to be getting the siege here of Jin, right? Of the Jin dynasty, which is going to be interesting as well. If that siege goes, like actually is successful, which it should be, then Tolui's house is going to rise to quite a lot of power, and if there's an opposing force that doesn't like that, that's going to start some big conflict within the brothers, right? And eventually, if that conflict keeps stirring, it's going to break apart the Mongol Empire, which is going to be very interesting to see. That is a crazy plan that they have going on. And as I said, it feels like it's so low scale for how big it is, but I do think it's because it's a nomadic nation, right? So you can't really have a big, like huge nation all in one place, because usually nomadic nations like this are in smaller groups or smaller towns, right? And they just move around in those smaller groups, as opposed to like being 100,000 people, 200,000 people in one group, right? Like it is in a stationary city, right? So yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, it's so cool how, because of how small the scale is, Fatima can just go around talking to the brothers and stuff like that, because there's not many people or many layers of like, I need to get through this person to get to this person to get to this person to finally get to the brother. It's just, the brother's just there chilling in a neighboring tent, right? So yeah, really interesting. We'll see where this is gonna go. For now, I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.